Hey, what's up YouTube, Sky Badger here, and we are back on day 38 of this little 1v1 with Lord Cack. Now, the game slowed down a lot over the past few days, and it's getting to the point now where, we've both known it for a while, I'm probably going to win this. So, at the moment, when we have a look down, you can see that I've still got the naval blockade, he can't build anything, and he only has 2 provinces now that border on the sea. Today, these 2 provinces rebelled to me, and that has given me a lot more coverage. So, at the moment, we're just building up and basically researching stuff. Due to manpower though, it's hard to build an army fast, although I am slowly getting there. So, if we have a look at what we have so far, you'll see that we have 2 groups consisting of, at the moment, 5 light tanks, 8 anti-air, 8 infantry, 6 mechanized infantry, 8 commandos, and that will soon be, I think, 8 SPAA, and then some heavy tanks. The same will be happening with this group here, and I'm also going to add some tank destroyers, and I think the first one is done as well. So if we quickly just split that off, we can send that up. So over the past few days, there hasn't been much fighting. There has been a little bit, as you can see in here. It's basically just been, because we both have the same problem, or he has a bigger problem than I do, he doesn't have much goods. He can't afford to lose troops. So whenever he sends troops up to capture these, he's sending light tanks and just single units by themselves that he can replace. If he sends his whole army in there, he's going to have a hard time replacing it with the amount of resources he's got. So I think he's holding on, and I think he might just not advance anymore. Every single time he advances, my ships deal some damage to the enemy units, and then my Air Force flies in and just kills them. I wonder where the kills got assigned to. Or maybe they got wiped when I upgraded them. You know what this is like. I wish these stats were more accurate and they hanged around more longer. So that's what's been happening there, is they get close to shore, my subs spot them from where they are at the moment, and then I basically just send in this group here to deal some damage, and it can deal a lot of damage, this group here, about 15, so it could nearly takes out 1 or 2 units by itself. And then I just send in the bombers to finish them off. The other day I got a few lucky hits on Paris with some of my strategic bombers, and that seemed to do a fair bit of damage from what my intel has told me. I managed to take it down a level in infrastructure and barracks and deal damage to fortifications and to its runway. But that was over 4 attacks, so it took quite a bit to get it down to that. So we have a look at the resource at the moment. As you can see, he's having the whole manpower problem that I'm having, and he's also low on goods. That makes sense considering through economic and morale warfare we have managed to make 2 of his 3 goods producing cities rebel. He only has this one here now. And just for a laugh, I'm really considering building, like, it'd be like the last thing I do in this game, building a nuclear battleship, because they have a range of 80 kilometers, which would allow me to fire in and hit fortifications here and here, and possibly some of these up here. And it'll just be a dick move, but it's just pushing back even further. So I am considering engaging in morale warfare down here and trying to capture these 2, and then have them completely surrounded. That way, when I do attack, he has nothing on the coast to spot my movements. So what I'm going to do to escort these 2 groups down is I'm going to send them down with basically the cruisers. The cruisers will provide anti-air cover. 5 times 9.5 is about 47.5, and that is pretty sufficient anti-air cover, along with what the airplane carrier can provide, and with the help of the destroyers, when I pin them back over that, it should be sufficient anti-air cover to cover them as they disembark. And what I'm going to do is, I'm thinking about how I'm going to do this at the moment. All I need to do is capture Paris and capture this city down here, and I've won the game at that point. If we have a look in the newspaper, as you can see, we currently sit on 62 points. So Paris will bump us up to 82. That there will bump us up to 87, and then we just need 3 more points. So we can probably get these points from going into here on the way into Paris, or from somewhere else, but I just don't know where. So I'm still figuring that out at the moment, and what I really want to do is focus all my forces in one place, and then all of the troops he has down here will be ineffective, because he has these fortifications, and if I let them use them, it's going to be a bloodbath. I won't be able to do anything, and it's just going to be a whole big mess. So I need to, when I do attack him fast, and not give him time to reinforce these positions up here. After the bombing campaign I launched in Paris a couple of days ago, I was able to kill all of the troops garrisons there except one anti-air. So if we go back, I think that was the day before. Must have been the day before that. Yeah, I was able to destroy 6 units in Paris and damage the infrastructure airbase and a few other things that weren't even listed there in the newspaper. So as stands at the moment, Germany has taken about twice as many casualties than we have, and this is kind of how we want it to continue. We don't want to take too many ourselves. In terms of production and economy, our whole economy is pretty strong as a whole. Although I am in negative food, it's a trade-off I'm willing to take. I've got all this food and I'm never going to use it all. Same with all this iron, but I can't do anything with that. I've got all this food and there's nothing I can do with it. So I've opened a lot of barracks to help boost my manpower production, and this is draining my food fast, but to help keep up with the demand and hopefully keep it positive so that in the future, if this does go wrong, we can still build up to the same point. I'm also working on upgrading my food production, and that comes in the form of building industrial centers. So as you can see, I'm upgrading these and slowly working on their production. When is the next? Okay, so based on the time right now, I'm not going to be able to start any more research until tomorrow, so I'll build another industrial plant, and that'll be the final one there. So that's how I'm managing my economy at the moment. If I turned all of the barracks off, I'd be in the positive again by about 4,000 food per day. So it's not that my economy's not strong enough, it's that I'm just diverting that food elsewhere to produce more manpower so I can continue to build my army. So that's all there is really to say at the moment. In terms of research, I'm just finishing off the infantry units at the moment, and once I've got these last 2 upgrades, I'm going to shift over to armor and basically just spend the rest of my game researching the armored units I plan to use. So first upgrade is going to go to medium tanks, then I can get my heavies, and then I'm going to research and split the upgrades between tank destroyers and artillery, and maybe, well, definitely got to go down here as well. So we'll see how we go, and basically once I've got the group ready and it's ready to march out and it's fully complete, so basically once I get the heavy tanks, then I'll send it down and there'll be a video there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.